Hello Internet. Today we have this 1590 that's hidden behind the Cooler Master cooler.
What?
Cooler Master is massive and probably provides better cooling compared to the original cooler. It also provides more destructive force to the board. As you can see here, the board is warped in multiple places, hopefully giving you enough proof that this cooler is not well designed. As the consequences of all that weight, the board is cracked, and that's basically why it's here, so let's take it apart and see what's inside. There it is. It's an Asus Astral with a good sized crack. Well, the crack may not be too bad, the core could be dead, so I'll do some measurements to know that at the very least we don't have a short anywhere. With a basic sanity check, I'm going to attempt to fix this crack and show you that Asus Astral board is not repairable when it comes to cracks like this. There we have it. As you may have already noticed, there are simply too many layers with multiple traces each layer. And I didn't even open all the necessary layers to continue with the repair, because I already know that even if I fix it, it won't last. So instead of wasting our time fixing the crack, which will not last a day, let's take the core and memory and move it over to ZOTAC. ZOTAC may not be your favorite brand given its track record, but ZOTAC did good for 5090. ZOTAC gives us nearly the same amount of phases for the core. And most importantly, we have 3 fuses protecting 12V high power, as well as 12V coming in from the motherboard. Asus Astral cared more about monitoring the power, but not protecting their board from blowing a hole in it. With that said, ZOTAC is better card than Asus in regards to reliability. So let's upgrade this Astral to ZOTAC and hopefully it works. The work is done, but there's some bad news. We have a short on the core. That short comes from China,
祝您健康
where Chinese workers removed the core and the memory from this board originally. They didn't care about reusing this board, so they applied too much heat in the center, which create a bulge in the middle of the board. Two ways to fix this would be to use smaller balls in the middle, as well as try to get that board flat again, using some weights. This does take a lot of patience, and sometimes does not work the first time, so let's give it a try anyway. There. The short is gone. Now let's see if this thing will post. And unfortunately it does not. The reason for that may simply be because of the memory errors caused by the chips I soldered facing the wrong way. As you can see here, I have two chips that were rotating in the wrong direction. This happens when, instead of properly orienting the memory chips, I stress about the flatness of the board. Basically, it's the China's fault. They should have kept that board flat. But to be honest, it's kinda hard to see the chip orientation unless the chip is super clean, as you can see here. After cleaning the chip, it is way more obvious which way it's supposed to be pointing at. Regardless, I'll solder the chip properly and try again. But it still does not post. Memory errors complain about the C0, which is this chip here. Maybe I didn't apply enough heat. I'll go ahead and reflow this chip real quick with some magic flux that fixes everything and try again.
I am the one.
All that's left now is to put it all together, run some tests, and ask for your like, comment, and subscription if you want to see more. Goodbye.